Hi everyone, my name is Jessy, and in today's Table Talk, we're going to be talking about how to stay organized and on top of your goals. You may be wondering, Jessy, what credentials do you have to be telling us how to stay organized? Well, I am a type A, Virgo, INFJ with an Enneagram type 1, which is the perfectionist. I think I was created to be this neurotic perfectionist in this world, but that's completely okay because I'm going to be sharing with you how I stay organized on a daily basis. First up, we're going to be talking about my planner. So I have been using planners for as long as I've been in school. I was always that little kid who loved to go back to school shopping and pick out a new planner each year and shop for all of my back to school supplies, like all my pens and pencils and pencil cases. For me personally, having a tangible planner is the key to staying on top of your things. There's just something about putting pen to paper that really helps you focus in on whatever you're doing that day. So this year I'm using the Soul Work Planner from the Mantra Collective. Not only does this help me stay on top of my daily tasks, but it also gives me a monthly overview and helps me practice mindfulness every day. Each day you get to write a little mantra of the day alongside 3 things that you're grateful for. It also helps you keep track of your emotions, like how you feel when you wake up and what you should be making time for throughout the day. This way, you're not overconsumed by work because it's also helping you keep in mind what you need to set aside time for throughout the day. This planner also has a monthly section so you can look at your month at a glance, and there's also a section for you to log your monthly intentions. I find that this part specifically ties into my 12-week year document that I have, and I will talk about that a little later because I use 2 different planning systems to help keep track of my overall goals for the year. In addition to all of this, you also get a weekly check-in that has some reflection and self-help prompts that I really enjoy doing. There are even monthly reflections so you can look back on certain accomplishments, events, and any lessons that you've learned. This part is just for fun and not really necessary, but it's a really motivational way to keep track of everything that you've done. In the back of this planner, there are different mantras for each category of your life. These categories cover self-development, self-love, success, gratitude, you name it. I like to pick out a random quote every single day and have that as my mantra of the day just to motivate me even more. This video is in no way sponsored by the Mantra Collective. It can't be sponsored because I'm a small YouTuber still. I just really love having planners that keep me on track but also help me practice gratitude and mindfulness each month, because sometimes you could just get so consumed and wrapped up in your work that you don't take the time out to really reflect on your day-to-day or what you're doing. So I like planners that basically include both of those. Prior to this, I was using this planner for 2023 and it had the same kind of gist of things where it had your monthly reflections and your monthly overview, your weekly overview. Just find a planner layout that works for you and go with that. So a fun little addition that I like to add to my planners is this little habit tracker post-it note thing. And it was actually gifted to me by my former work bestie, who is still my bestie, but we both left that toxic workplace together. Ultimately, doing this and building those little habits every single day will help you in achieving your overall goals. For instance, one of my goals is to lose 10 pounds this year, within the year. I use this habit tracker right now to keep track of how often I go to the gym/workout, but also how often I post YouTube shorts throughout the month. And the YouTube shorts ties into my main goal, my main and centered goal of being monetized on YouTube this year. And obviously, the more consistently I post, the closer I get to reaching that goal. I think as of filming this video, I'm going to start incorporating a second post-it note to help keep track of how often I eat out or order takeout to again contribute to my health goals. And then I also want to start keeping track of how early I wake up because I really want to be a morning person. I really want to be a morning girly and just be productive in the mornings. Because right now I have very slow and mushy mornings. Like I just don't like waking up in the morning. So I would like to keep track of how often I wake up early. The earlier I wake up, the more productive I am throughout the day. So that'll lead to my overall goals of building a healthier and better lifestyle for myself. I'm pretty sure you can find these cute little post-it notes at your local Target or look it up on Amazon, or you can support your local stationery stores if there are any by you. Oh yes, Google Calendar, a small but mighty force within my organizational infrastructure. So I use Google Calendar all the time across all of my clients in order to schedule meetings. It's kind of a no-brainer for me because every person, every client that I interact with almost always has a Gmail account. So it's just really easy to synchronize all of our meetings through Google Calendar, send each other invites, and just have the meeting penciled into our digital calendar. However, I will say I go the extra mile and I pencil in all of my meetings inside my planner as well. The key to Google Calendar is to download the app on your phone. After you download the app on your phone, I want you to synchronize the notifications so that it notifies not just your phone, but also if you have a smartwatch, your watch as well. Then this way, 10 minutes before every meeting, or you can customize what notification you set for it, but for me, I have it to alert me 10 minutes before my meeting starts. So no matter how concentrated I am on whatever project I'm doing at that moment, I get the buzz on my phone, on my watch, and also on my desktop. Google Meet at 3 p.m. and it'll be 2:50 at that point. So it kind of allows me to recollect myself, stop whatever I'm doing, and get myself in the mindset to meet with whoever I'm meeting that day and talk about whatever project we're talking about. If you are a really busy person and you tend to get caught up in your work, then I highly recommend downloading the Google Calendar app just for the sole purpose of synchronizing all of your meetings across all of your devices so that you never miss one, you're never late for one, and you're always in the right headspace before starting a meeting. Now, I haven't tried this yet, but I would also love to take it a step further and use Google Calendar to start time blocking my days. This is a more intensive organizational structure, and I'm not sure how many people actually do this, but it's another thing that I saw online that kind of inspired me to add more structure to my day. Once I do that and test that out, I will make another video about it. Moving on to one of my favorite books, probably one of my most essential books, my finance tracker. Next to my planner, this is the second most important book that I need in order to stay on top of my shit. Whereas I write in my planner every single day, I will finance track 2 to 3 times per month. I started tracking my finances in 2021 when I first started freelancing. And let me tell you, this book, it's a little bullet journal, but it has been a lifesaver for me, especially when doing my taxes. I started doing this because initially I needed to keep track of all of the income that I made per month since I was operating as a freelancer. It's kind of hard to keep track of your income because all of your invoices are always various different amounts, like you're not making a set amount. Not only does this help me keep my income and invoices in check, but it also helps me keep track of my expenses per month. It's just a great way to get an overview at what money comes in and what money goes out. My finance tracker helps me stay on top of both of my personal bank accounts and my business bank account. Without this book, I would be completely lost. I can make a more in-depth video about how I keep track of my finances as a freelancer in another video because it is an extensive process. Some people might think it's old-fashioned for me to write down all of my expenses and all of my income, but as someone who has built up an emergency fund and also a retirement fund as a full-time freelancer, trust me when I say it's worth investing your time into just logging everything yourself. And it is overall crucial to know how to handle your money. Finances is so important. It is your livelihood. You need money to live. You need money to have fun and experience new things. Be sure to stay tuned for a video on how I keep track of my finances on a monthly basis. So the last thing that I'm going to talk about is my 12-week year document. This is the newest addition to my organizational infrastructure. So if you haven't caught up with my videos yet, I released a 12-week year template video on how to actually achieve your goals throughout the year. And within that video, I talked about goal planning, and I also created this little 2x2 chart on little actionable goals that I need to be checking off as each quarter passes. So if you haven't seen my video, I'm going to show you guys here on my screen. I created this 2x2 chart to help me keep track of my goals per quarter. Within each quarter, I listed these little actions to get me closer to my overall goal of what I want to achieve by the end of the year. As you saw earlier, I actually printed out this document to have pinned up on my bulletin board right behind me right there, so it's always a constant reminder of what I am working so hard towards. As each month passes, I can just look at this paper and get a little refresher of what I've accomplished and what I still need to get done. This was never a part of my daily routine, but I think that by adding it, it will really help me kind of hone in and focus on all of my goals for this year. And I actually just really want to see how effective the 12-week year template is. So far, it's doing great. To summarize everything, I stay organized by writing to-do lists in my daily planner, keeping track of my daily and monthly schedule using my planner, but also Google Calendar, tracking my habits through a post-it note in addition to my planner. Then I stay on top of my finances by hand logging everything in my little bullet journal finance tracker. And lastly, I hold myself accountable for achieving my annual goals by using my quarterly objective chart. Now, am I saying that you need to do all of this in order to have your life together and stay organized? No. If you were never an organized person in the first place, then all of this must seem very overwhelming for you, and you're probably thinking, Jessy, you're crazy. How am I supposed to start doing all of these different things and track of all of these different books and apps and whatever? My advice is for you to start small. Just take a random notebook that you have lying around your house, open it, first page, on the top of that page, write in big letters, to-do list, date it for whatever date it is, and then I want you to list your top 3 priorities. So the top 3 things that you need to get done that day. Below those top 3 things, I want you to write on a smaller list of other stuff that you need to get done throughout the day, but it's not as much of a priority. By prioritizing these 3 things every single day, you're still getting things done, even if you're not checking off your whole entire to-do list, but you're also practicing mindfulness, time management, and staying productive throughout the day. People always ask me how I stay organized on top of all of my freelance client work and also maintaining my own personal social media and my YouTube channel. Well, this video was a look into how I organize all of the chaos up here. If you've watched until the end, thank you so much. I hope you were able to find some helpful tips within this video on how to stay organized. I'm a more practical and old-fashioned kind of gal. I always just hand log everything. If you find that digital organization works better for you, then by all means, go for it. Like if apps or Notion or whatever workspace work better for you, 1000%. Go for it. This is just how I personally stay organized. I forgot to mention though, I am on one digital workspace, and that is Basecamp. I use Basecamp within another company that I am contracted to, and I have my own separate to-do list in that workspace as well. Forgot to mention that, but shout out Basecamp, also not sponsored. Other than that, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more productivity videos, more insights on being a full-time freelancer, and just some fun lifestyle and fashion videos. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!